Hey, before this video begins, I would like to say that you can email me at risewithproductions@gmail.com if you have any story submissions for me. Some of the stories here are actually from my email submissions. Also, our goal is 100,000 subs by the end of the year, and if we can hit that would be awesome. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to comment, let me know what you want next, and enjoy. Be good people. Imagine a young couple embarking on what should have been a routine evening out, only to encounter a nightmare beyond comprehension. In January of 2007 in Knoxville, Tennessee, it became the epicenter of a crime so horrific that it continues to haunt the community and all who learn about it. Shannon Christian, 21, and her boyfriend Christopher Newsom, 23, fell victim to a series of brutal acts that underscore the depths of human depravity. On January 6th of 2007, Shannon and Christopher planned a simple night together. Dinner, followed by a movie at a friend's apartment. They met at the Washington Ridge Apartments, a place familiar and comfortable. However, as they departed in Shannon's Toyota 4Runner, they were hijacked and abducted by a group of assailants. This marked the beginning of an ordeal that would end in unimaginable tragedy. The couple was forcibly taken to a residence at 2316 Chipman Street. There, they endured hours of unspeakable torture. Christopher was raped, bound, and shot multiple times. His body was then set ablaze and left near railroad tracks, a final indignity to a life cut short. Shannon faced prolonged sexual assaults and was ultimately suffocated, her body callously discarded in a trash can within the house. The sheer brutality of these actions sent shockwaves through Knoxville and beyond. Law enforcement acted promptly, leading to the arrest of 5 individuals: LaMarcus Davidson, Ludvis Cobbins and George Thomas, Vanessa Coleman, and Eric Boyd. Each faced a litany of charges including murder, rape, and kidnapping. The trials that ensued unveiled chilling details of the couple's suffering and the calculated cruelty of their captors. The path to justice was intricate and protracted. LaMarcus Davidson, identified as the ringleader, was convicted on multiple counts and received the death penalty. Ludvis Cobbins was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. George Thomas also received a life sentence without parole. Vanessa Coleman was convicted on lesser charges and sentenced to 25 years in prison. Eric Boyd, initially convicted on federal charges as an accessory, was later found guilty on state charges and sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms, plus 90 years. Overkill? Not by a landslide. These fuckers deserved it. The heinous nature of the crimes attracted extensive media attention and ignited discussions about race. As the victims were white and the perpetrators were black, some commenters argued that the case did not receive adequate national coverage due to racial dynamics, while others contended that the media's response was appropriate. Local authorities, including Police Chief Sterling Owen Forth, stated there was no evidence to suggest the crimes were racially motivated. Nevertheless, the case became a focal point for debates on media bias and racial issues in crime reporting. The Knoxville community was profoundly affected by the loss of Shannon and Christopher. Memorials and vigils were held to honor their memories, and efforts were made to ensure they were not forgotten. The house at 2316 Chipman Street, where the atrocities occurred, was demolished in 2008, with plans to create a memorial at the site. Additionally, self-defense initiatives were established to empower individuals and prevent similar tragedies. Years have passed, but the memories of Shannon Christian and Christopher Newsom still remain very vividly. Their families continue to advocate for victims' rights and work to keep their stories alive. Of course, as always, this case serves as a grim reminder of the capacity for human cruelty and the imperative for vigilance and justice in the face of such darkness. This tragic fate of Shannon and Christopher continues to disturb and resonate. It emphasizes the need to remember and learn from such harrowing events. I hope that the people that did this to them burn in hell for everything they did. Imagine a peaceful village in the French Alps shattered by the sudden disappearance of a 2-year-old boy, leading to a complex investigation that would later grip the nation. Well, in July of 2023, the tranquil community of Le Vinet in southeastern France was thrust into the spotlight when young Emile Solil vanished without a trace. The subsequent discovery of his remains and the arrest of close family members have left many unanswered questions, making this case one of the most disturbing in recent memory. On July 8th of 2023, Emile was staying with his paternal grandparents, Felipe and Anne Vodillo, at their holiday home in Lebanon. The village, known for its serene landscape and tight-knit community, seemed an unlikely setting for tragedy. According to reports, Emile was last seen playing in the garden under the supervision of his grandparents. At some point, he wandered off and was never seen again alive. Despite extensive search operations involving hundreds of volunteers, drones, sniffer dogs, no immediate trace of the toddler was found. But only 9 months later, in April of 2024, some hikers stumbled upon skeletal remains approximately 1 mile from the Verduni residence. Forensic analyst confirms the worst fears. The remains belonged to Emile. The condition of the remains made it challenging to determine the exact cause of death, but the location raised suspicions about the circumstances surrounding his disappearance and demise. The case took a dramatic turn in March 2025 when French authorities arrested Felipe and Anne Vividini, along with 2 of their adult children, on suspicion of voluntary homicide and concealing a corpse. The arrests were reportedly based on inconsistencies in the family's statements and potential evidence suggesting involvement in Emile's death. Notably, Felipe Vividini had a troubling past with allegations of abuse that further complicated the family's narrative. Several theories emerged over the course of this investigation. Animal attack. Given the region's wildlife, some speculated that Emile might have been attacked by wolves or other predators. However, the discovery of his remains in a location previously searched cast doubt on this theory. Accidental death. Another possibly considered was that Emile wandered off and succumbed to the elements, yet the proximity of the remains to the grandparents' home and the arrest suggests a more sinister scenario. And of course, foul play. The involvement of close family members raised the most assuring theory that Emile's death was not accidental. The charges of homicide and concealment of a corpse indicates that authorities found compelling reasons to suspect foul play within the family. The village of Leverente, already marked by past tragedies, found itself under intense media scrutiny. The community grappled with the horrifying possibility that trusted members could be involved in such a heinous act. The case sparked nationwide debates about child safety, familial trust, and the effectiveness of investigative procedures in missing children cases. As of March 2025, the legal process is ongoing. The Vividini family members remain in custody as investigators continue to gather evidence. The case has highlighted the complexities of familiar relationships and the dark undercurrents that can exist beneath a veneer of normalcy. The tragic fate of Emile Seville serves as a somber reminder of the vulnerabilities children face, even in environments presumed to be safe. As the community of Lambrani seeks closure, the broader public remains captivated and disturbed by the unfolding revelations of this heart-rending case.